Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. True Beast Trainer, Ep.5. Team X Dog. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope y'all doing pretty good. We got a pretty good guest tonight. We're going to get standing here, and we're going to get things rolling.
Zachary, how the mic sound, baby?
You good?
You good? Okay, cool. Because I tried something new tonight. I moved the microwave, turned it up a little bit, so I kind of wanted to hear what he was saying.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, well, perfect. You ready to get this show going?
Yeah, let's roll.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the True Beast Trainer, and tonight we have a very special guest, and I'm excited about this. But first of all, I kind of want to commend you guys, those who had seen the reel that we just did and contributed and mentioned us and supported us. This episode is very exciting because you guys actually asked some really good quality questions. I know that we request you guys ask questions to get involved in the giveaway, which we have a couple of giveaways tonight. However, we could tell a big difference. I was talking to Zach about it. We could definitely tell a big difference in the quality of questions. You know, this guy is a guy who is into retrievers. He's got some highly conditioned retrievers, and you guys didn't ask simplistic questions like, hey, how did you get into Labradors or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
And so you guys, from what I read, it looked like you guys put in some thought into your questions, and that's really important because when you think about it, you guys are a big part of our show and our show success. So having not just your support, but really asking questions that's going to bring value to new listeners and those who are listening outside of these lives is critically important. And so, of course, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Stan Smith. Obviously, I am the inventor of the X-Dog vest. I also have produced products like supplement companies like MVP Canine Supplements, Muscle Bully, Earth Vet, and of course all the True Beast products. I'm pretty known for just creating innovative products to enhance dogs' health. And of course, I got my host over here, Zach Valentine, who is a marketing extraordinaire. He's one of our in-house marketing partners here. He also is very, very creative when it comes to like video editing. He has his own company when it comes to the graphic department. He also owns the Bully Academy. And man, what's going on, Zach?
I can't call it, bro. I'm pumped, bro. I'm ready to learn some stuff, bro. We've kind of touched like almost every type of dog so far, like the working class, all the dog type trainers. But this dude's like, it's a different realm in my opinion. Like he's finna break it down like a hunting dog type, bird dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be dope to see how they attack their everyday lifestyle with training these dogs and getting into it with them. So it's gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept when you think about it, man. He has Labradors, and I don't know if you guys saw the reel, but I mean, he has some highly conditioned Labrador retrievers. And I don't know if you guys quite understand how hard it is to take like a black lab or any type of black coat dog to make them look that shredded. But I'm really excited for him to give you guys the insight and retrieve the secrets that he does when it comes to conditioning his dogs.
Yeah, for sure, bro. That's what I'm pumped about.
Now, so on this reel, right? And first of all, I want to go ahead and just apologize to Ryan before he gets on here. And I had asked Zach on the slide. I said, man, I've been calling Ryan, for Milk Point Retrievers, Ryan, like since I've known him. He's had a V1, and I was like, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. And I said, Zach, how do you pronounce his last name? And he's like, well, he hunts ducks, so it has to be Quance, like Quack and Quance. I was like,
he's so stupid.
Fair enough. And so I get on here and I do this reel. I say, hey, we got Ryan Quance, coming on for Milk Point Retrievers. About 2 minutes later, I get this text. He's like, hey, you did a really great job, but my name is fucking Quance. It's Quance, Ryan Quance. I was like, my bad.
Got him.
Let me tell you guys what's going on tonight, man, as far as the giveaway, Zach. I'll turn this around. So this wheel right here, this green wheel, this is all the people who were on the post in reel where we asked to tag a guest, right? So if you tag the guest, you're on this,
Yeah.
we're just going to spin it once tonight, and you have an opportunity to win an X-Dog vest. However, there's like a space here, and I don't know why. This is really weird. If you see down here, they've been running these ads, and usually I can drop it down, but I spent an hour putting everybody's name in,
Yeah.
so I don't want to touch it. This is the giveaway tonight for this wheel. These are for everybody who asked Ryan a question. And, of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now, because once we start getting into this, I'm going to actually start cutting off the questions around 7:15, because it just kind of gets annoying to constantly put people in. So if you got a question for Ryan, go ahead and ask it now. Put it in the question box, and me and Zachary will definitely be reading them off to him. Let me see here.
The wheels is always dope, man. If for those of y'all that's just tuning in, and for those of y'all that don't watch live, every episode we do a wheel spin. We put names in the wheel, spin the wheel. Whoever wins gets some type of product that we have entered into the program. Like you might win a vest, you might win a supplement, you might win a food topper, you might win a T-shirt. There's a lot of things you could win. So if you're tuning in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, or anything above, check us out, man. Monday and Thursday, 7 p.m. We're on Instagram Live, and we do the podcast live every Monday and Thursday, 7 p.m.
Absolutely. And so also, guys, if you guys do us a solid, man, we're able to come in here and do these giveaways, but if you could go subscribe to Apple and leave us a review. We're actually going to start 2023 review contest, which will be another opportunity to win some big prizes over there.
Yeah.
So it'll be by date. Right now we only got like 1 or 2 reviews, so you have a great opportunity to win product, and also, get on YouTube, and we're going to be sharing X-Dog Universities, and start asking us questions there, and asking us questions on these podcast episodes as well, and then we'll start trying to bring those on as well. So we need your support, man. Our whole mission is to eliminate dog obesity. We're moving in the right direction, but we cannot do this without you, and we can't do it by ourselves. And so all your support, leading by example, we try to go the extra mile, man. When you mention us, we mention you back, and so. Yeah, it's on Apple. It's called
Apple
True Beast Podcast.
Yeah, just go on Apple Podcast, type in True Beast, and it'll pop up.
But other than that, man, it's just it's a really great honor, man, for us to have you, a part of our team and mission. And the V3.5s are coming up. There's going to be a massive wave coming in February and March of literally thousands of X-Dogs who are going to be rocking those. So if you do get a V3.5, be sure to mention us. And me and Zach, we were talking about, the labels on the side of the box. So this is the first batch. So let's just say you got an alter ego vest or a green vest or a blue vest, whatever color vest, right, in the size. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's an alter ego medium. We only made 40 pieces out of that first batch. If we ever come out with any other alter egos, it's going to be second batch, third batch, fourth batch. But we don't have any plans of doing that. Normal colors like teal and hot pink, light pink, black, red, we'll probably do that. But on the alter ego vest or any other color vest, let's just say you have a medium, right? Yeah. And there's only 40 pieces. It'll say 1 of 40, 2 of 40, 3 of 40, 4 of 40. And we're going to be doing email blasts I think we do it twice a week. And we're also going to be putting those numbers in random wheels. And so you're going to be able to win these exclusive prizes. And all you have to do is open your email to see if you won or not. And so be sure that's going to be very important. And we'll take a deeper dive into that once we get the vests here, which, they've landed in the ports. They should be clearing this weekend and hopefully heading to Dallas next week.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's what we're waiting on. Everybody's pumped. Super excited, bro. It's like a new Jordan drop.
Yeah, really exclusive pumped. Stuff. I think the small D
really is.
The first
It's super dope, man, because every version that drops is, for those of y'all that don't know, they're on version 3.5 right now. So from 1 until 3.5, every edition that's came out so far has had an upgrade that is just impeccable. It makes the vest even more better than it was from the original version, and it just keeps getting better. So a lot of the times when we see reviews, or a lot of y'all don't realize that, you might comment here and there, you might post on a YouTube video and you might say certain stuff about the vest, could do this or could be that. We take all that into consideration, and Stan breaks it all down, and then he goes to his drawing board, and he's like a mad scientist, and he comes out with this new version, and he's just like, yeah, and it's super dope, bro.
Well, do you see?
Yeah, he's here.
All right, well, let's bring him on.
was. I just had his name. Where'd he go?
If you have any questions about the vest too, go ahead and just message me directly. I'm inside this year. I'm inside Instagram.
There it is. Point Retrievers. Send him an invite. There we go.
Hey, what's going on?
What's
There
going
he
on,
is.
guys?
For everybody who don't know, this is Ryan Quance.
Ryan Quance.
I was telling everybody how you hit me up. You're like, hey, Stan, that's really cool that you did that and all. But could you fucking pronounce my name correctly? And I was like, yeah. Only thousands of people heard.
Amen.
It's not a big deal.
Pretty good.
Great, man.
How are you tonight?
Yeah, how y'all doing tonight? Well, we got some snow here in Nebraska, so the team and I had to be creative as far as training today. So they still got their
when it comes to
exercise in.
snow and like weather like that, I've always noticed that in cooler weathers, dogs are able to work out for longer. Are they also able to work out for longer periods of time? I mean, harder during those longer periods of times, or what's your perspective on that?
Well, when it gets to like colder weather, you're right. They can work out a little longer. It's a lot easier on their lungs. Our team is real conditioned to the elements just because we have them in and out of the elements. But yeah, when it gets real nasty, I have a climate controlled facility that I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to get them in and, work on some different fundamental drills and obedience and stuff like that.
So let's start from, let's break it down. What's the training session for a lab or a bird dog or a hunt dog? What is your actual what's your expertise at? What type of dogs do you have, and what do you focus on mainly?
So I started out doing a hunt test, basic hunting scenarios for Labrador retrievers. With that, we compete in the United Kennel Club. That's the United, so it's the UKC. And then we also compete in the American Kennel Club, which is the AKC. They're both similar tests. There's 3 different levels. There's a started test. So like a started test is a single retrieve. So just one mark goes out. The dog has to go get it, bring it back. At started, they don't have to quite deliver to hand. Then there's another tier where it's called seasoned or senior. Senior would be more like your AKC. Seasoned's going to be your UKC. Let's just focus, just for making it easy, the UKC. So we'll say seasoned. Seasoned, you're going in, you're going to do a double. So now there's 2 retrieves. There's also a blind retrieve. A blind retrieve is sending the retriever on a cast to pretty much a destination they don't know. They have to take hand signals. We use a whistle to guide them to those destinations. Also at a season level, there's going to be a walk up. So you're walking in a field, a bird comes out, you shoot it, the dog needs to come to a sit. Then the judge is going to say, okay, release the dog. That's where that obedience comes into play. And then the master level, that's where the team is at right now. Now you're doing a triple. So you got 3 marks going down, and then you got either 1 blind or 2 blinds. And you also got to do an honor. An honor is honoring the working dog. So after you've done your triple, you've done your blind retrieve, we get off to the side, and now they got to sit there and they got to watch.
So it shows their obedience to be able to be just chill and calm and relaxed.
Yeah, they just got to be 100% sound. Now, occasionally you'll get, because these are, bird dogs, so they are very birdy. So you got ducks quacking, and we'll have a quack. We'll quack out to the field, and these guys, it's like crack cocaine to these guys. They're just amped up. Sometimes a dog breaks. So say if a dog breaks and you call them back in, that's called a controlled break. But say they go and they don't listen to you, you're automatically out.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it's crazy. It's very tough.
This is what's kind of fascinating. The dogs that you compete with in these type of sports like AKC and UKC, do you also go hunt with them? And does that kind of, let's just say like you have a dog that's getting prepared for an event, but you're just, hey man, I want to go duck hunting, right? And obviously like duck hunting scenarios are going to be completely different than sporting scenarios. Does that affect the dog in any way?
100%. So hunting deteriorates training. And ultimately, you know, I got my team to where I want to be able to take them out to the field and enjoy a well-oiled machine, well-obedient machine. But at a test, for instance, them to swim across some water and do it in a straight line. And we want them to come back. We don't want them to cheat the bank and get the easy way to us. In a hunting scenario, sometimes it's like, go ahead, man, get the easy way. Well, that just went against everything that we have trained for a test. Or you're in a hunting scenario and some birds fly right in your face and the dog breaks. I had a situation this year where a friend of mine that I have tried to beat in his head, like, hey man, your dog's just not ready. You know, you can't go hunting and train. You got to train before.
So starting from puppy age, like, do you breed as well, or do you just No, you good.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Zach. So we haven't started our breeding yet. We will once our females have
I got you.
reached all their titles. You know, and I use this analogy. You think about just women. After women have children, they don't want to go run a marathon. They want to stay home with their young. They tend to slow down a little bit. That's my same mindset with my canine athletes. I'm going to wait till, you know, they're done with, you know, the competing at the highest levels. And then I'll start breeding them out.
So you're looking for brutes, like you're looking for stock for your yard, like you get a dog. At what age do you guys start working and training a dog to become, you know, I know a lot of these dogs are retrievers, you know what I'm saying? They're built for it. It's in their bloodline. But what age do you take them and actually start introducing them to that world?
So I you know, for like my two, so I have Delta and Lightning. Lightning I have built from the ground up, and I started everything with her right at 7 weeks. And it wasn't as like formal training where I want you to be steady. I just get them crazy about birds and feathers in their mouths, and you know, we'll do like clip wing pigeons, something just flapping around. Just get them really, really hooked on that prey drive. And then, you know, socialization's huge. You know, Lightning, she is solid. I mean, this dog, when I tell her to sit, she will literally not move. She will pee herself until I give her the next command to move forward, because she is just so obedient. But that comes back to, you know, just taking them different places with you. I had the luxury of owning my own business. So with Lightning, I took her everywhere with me. We went to the fire station. We were around, you know, cars, trucks, horses, you name it. And that got her real sound to, you know, exposing her to all those different things that she's going to be seeing at maybe a test down the road.
So when it comes to conditioning, what is part of your daily and weekly regimen when it comes to conditioning these dogs? Because, you know, this is more of an endurance type sport, correct? It's not like, we're not talking about sprint work. We're talking about endurance. So what are some of the things that you do to increase your dog's endurance to be prepared for these events?
So I do a lot of roading. So roading to me is either on a treadmill or a slap mill, or I will literally get on the ATV and we'll just go out and pound some miles. There's a lot of trainers that I follow that are big into roading, and there are a lot of Southern trainers that do that type of endurance training. And then also, you know, the X-Dog vest, man. I told you earlier, Stan, I love it, man. I got the
V1
old school, the very first X-Dog vest, the D1, and you know, it's still going. It's been able to not only help my two active athletes, but I have one that has terminal cancer, and you know, she was a monster in her time, by, utilizing that X-Dog vest, has truly helped her
Yeah,
like tremendously.
I was just recently looking, going down this rabbit hole about the importance of building muscle because people are like, why should I have my dog conditioned? Well, muscle is the currency to longevity, and people don't know that. As your dog ages, your dog will deteriorate just like we do. We tend to lose muscle, and the better condition your dog is, the more currency that actually your dog's going to potentially live longer and have less health-related diseases.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. But, also, talking about
Yeah.
conditioning, it's what we put in them too. I'm very strategic about
Mm.
what calories we're going in and what calories are going out. I mean,
So
I broke it all the way down to
let's dig a
science.
little bit into that. Like,
Um,
what is a diet for them type of dogs? What's your process?
well, every meal, because, these are dogs, they don't want to drink water. So I force hydration by floating their food. So I always add water to their kibble, and then I'll add different types of things to their kibble. So we'll supplement with different raw meats, organ meats, stuff like that to help, give them that extra bounce back. Because dogs, they use fats for energy, where,
Mm-hmm.
humans, we use some carbohydrates and some proteins and so forth. But with these canines, I float their food. I give them an array of vitamins, and I'm very strategic on, giving them the kind of lifestyle of a true athlete. Whether you're a basketball player, a football player, or, XYZ in a professional standpoint, those guys got their meal plans,
Yeah.
made out for them. Hey, this is what you're eating today, and then,
Sure.
you're going to work out. Um, but yeah, it's kind of, a way of life. Daily
Mm-hmm.
training to me is not a job; it's a lifestyle. And, I'm looking for the long-term goal for these canine athletes.
Well,
So
how much
diet's
and
huge
how
for me.
often do you feed the dogs who are that type of lifestyle? When you're talking about when I look at a dog like that, I'm thinking like Michael Phelps. Like he had to literally go eat McDonald's and try to bring in 5,000 calories
Yeah.
because of his swim regimen. Me personally, my dogs are like they don't have that type of lifestyle. So I feed once a day, 6 days a week. But I'm interested in what you feed and how often and how much daily.
Well, see, that's the funny
Huh.
thing is I also feed once a day, six
Yeah.
6 days a week. I feed in the evenings, and, there's 7 days in a week. So twice a month I fast my team for, 24. So it's looking at like 48 hours
Yeah.
Mm.
because they're not getting that evening meal. Um, when I'm fasting them, though, our exercise regimen goes down. I'm not going to, go out and burn a bunch of calories
Yeah.
and put those muscles into stress and not have anything in their system. Also, going into a fast, I don't load them up the night before a fast with
Mm.
a bunch of extra calories either. And then I break my fast days up
Yeah.
different days of the week. Um, because
Yeah.
dogs, they get a pattern. So like right now, my girls, they get fed at 3:30. It's the winter time. In the summertime and springtime when we're trialing and doing tests and stuff, that's 7:30, 8 o'clock at night because we've been training all day. So I kind of switch them up. And then when we're not in, like right now, it's our gear up mode. We just, this last
Mm.
week, we went through what I call Hell Week. Hell Week is we're doing anywhere between 10 and
Yeah.
15 miles of running in the morning
Yeah.
before we even do any training.
Yeah.
And they just crushed it. But when we're doing our Hell Week, I'm loading them with a crap ton of calories because their bodies are
That's
getting pushed to the
interesting.
Yeah.
It
extreme.
makes sense though.
It does. That's why you say. I mean, like Stan showed me the pictures of the dogs, and I was just blown away. I was like, Jesus, like them. Those dogs are beautiful, bro.
I can't I can't take too much credit for that chocolate, that first chocolate. That chocolate was actually a another trainer's dog that competed at the Grand this last year, and I was just blown away that
Yeah.
he's at that level. The Grand is the in the so we're going back to UKC. Once your dog dog becomes a hunting retriever champion, you automatically qualify for the Grand. And then you can go to the Grand, and the Grand is a whole new monster. And usually, you know, there's anywhere between, you know, 2,000 to 7,000 entries, and it's a week long. You know, it's 5-6 days.
That's a lot of dogs,
test. But oh, dude, it's
but I mean,
insane.
At that level, though, I mean, I guess if you think about it, if you want to claim to be the best of the best, that's what it's going to take, right? Like you got to go through hell and high water to compete against the dogs that claim that they're the best. So, but 2,000?
No,
5,000,
right?
Yeah,
dude, that's the
5,000. Jesus,
5,000, man. There's just the crazy thing, Zach, is, you know, the biggest reason why I got into conditioning my team is because I looked at my competitors and I started dissecting every one of them, whether they're a professional or an amateur. And I started noticing that, you know, a lot of these dogs were just dogs. They weren't athletes. You know, you can prevent injury and you can prevent a lot of things if you.
Yeah, I mean,
we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, that's something we preach a lot. And then, like, boiling back to your female dog that you said has terminal cancer, right? Like, the vest may have played a big part in the conditioning, but also the diet and the way that your lifestyle is for the dogs is what's keeping that situation on the up and up, right? Because a lot of these dogs, like you said, a lot of people just got dogs. And I can vouch because my father-in-law he was into bird dogs, he was into hunting dogs and all of that. And to him, it's just a dog. Like, it really wasn't like he would train, you know, he would do his thing, but there was no conditioning. There was no exercise regimen. It was just basically learn how to win and get the award. And that was it. So taking it to that next level obviously shows why you got the ribbons on the back wall back there.
Yeah, I got a few there. And then, you know, Abby, you know, she's the one that got me hooked into this whole dog competing sport. And, you know, I was told from a trainer back in the day, he says, man, you can't just have one. You're going to end up having like three.
Addicting.
And here it is, you know, 10 years later.
So,
and now I got three.
So do you actually keep different dogs to go hunt? Like, do you personally hunt? So do you have different dogs that you bring with you to go hunting? Or have you worked out a happy medium with your dogs?
So everybody likes it when I bring my team along because they know they're going to, first off, they're going to sit there and they're not going to whine. They're not going to break. They're going to go when they need to go. I try to, you know, take them both, but at the same time, you know, I don't do too much hunting because our main goal is, you know, we want to be able to get some tests in to, you know, give us more gratitude of what we're trying to do here at Elk Point. So with that being said, man, we don't do a lot of hunting right now.
When we talk about like you guys both said about lifestyle, you know, you talk about fasting the dog, putting the right foods in the dog, the lifestyle of the daily activities. I mean, with the dog with cancer, you know, like, I mean, when it comes to healing, that's about the most natural way you can heal a dog, especially during that fasting period. And, you know, cellular health is a big deal. Now, when you talk about dogs who go to the Grand, and let's say a dog wins the Grand, right? What is that dog worth? I know, like, in some of the, like, we got like crazy numbers in the bully community. I know the working dog community, we'll hear people or trainers sell dogs for 50 to 100 grand fully trained and stuff. A dog that wins the Grand, how much is it worth?
A lot.
A lot.
Well, it depends. A lot. It depends. It depends. Obviously, you know, getting that title is huge. Become a Grand Hunting Retriever champion. That's a huge title. You know, that shows a foundation of obedience. That shows, you know, skill, being able to be a team player. You know, running those blind retrieves, and you know, when I hit my whistle, and I give you a right angle back, and you take that, and you just keep going, and you don't pop. That's a Grand Hunting Retriever champion. So these dogs, 50, 70, 80. I mean, 100,000. It all comes back down to the genetics, though. In these athletes, I'm very fortunate with my two females because they both got stacked beyond stacked pedigree. And another thing that's nice with my two females is they're trifecta. So when we go to breed, you know, they can breed to a chocolate and throw some chocolates out. They can breed to a black and throw out some blacks and and maybe have a yellow in there. So it kind of throws off those different color variations. But yeah, something that was very special this past year, that my team and I did is we competed at the Super Retriever Series. Now, you're talking about the Grand. The Grand's great, but to take a step to the Super Retriever Series, that's like going from college football to now the NFL. And I was, to be honest with you guys, I was amazed. My young athlete did phenomenal. I personally cut her short because I didn't know all the fundamentals of the game and what I could do and what I couldn't do. So we got some new goals for 2023, and one of them is to try to get a couple more SRSs underneath our belt so we can dissect that, that whole new animal. But yeah, the biggest thing is conditioning these guys, whether it's 6 weeks to 6 years old or 10 years old. And then, getting back to Abby, Abby, she still gets out and she does her roding with the team. And that's something that she looks forward to. I don't let her do the full 10. I'll swing back by the house and, put her up, and then she can just cry because she has the heart of an athlete. She wants to keep going. But me as a
that's
coach,
one thing.
I got to tell her when she
for
needs
those
to
that
stop.
tune in all the time, they probably remember we had an episode one time, and Stan asked what was one breed that I would never own, and I told him I was like probably a lab, and they were like, "Oh, why? What? Blah blah." But that's what I was fixing to ask you. Like my cousin had one, so I've had an experience, and like they're just so. Me personally, I don't really think they're pet dogs. Like they're more like they're so big. Like this dog was go, 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 go all the time. Like it's cool. It's beautiful dog. But for the average person, I just felt like in a pet sense, like it takes a lot, like just to get it to be able to just be calm. Like, cause he was always on the go, ready to chase a ball. He had a tennis ball, and that was like one rule that they had in my cousin's house. Don't pick up the ball and don't look him in the eyes. As soon as you did, it was game over. He would be in your face and just bark at you for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, being a retriever, man, they like to play fetch. My 3 athletes that I have all come from very good pedigree, and there's a lot of go. I mean, a lot. So, even, getting back to our regiment of training, you got to rest those muscles. You just can't work those muscles out every day. So I do a thing with the team where I call it a rest and recovery day. Sometimes we got to call it a forced rest day, where literally I got to kennel you up, and the only time you come out of your kennel is to go use the restroom, and it's back in your kennel because they got so much energy. They got to go, 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 go. But that's where, like, even with your pets or your companions, if you're thinking about getting a lab or, getting into this sport or this hobby, it's a commitment. 365 days a year. This last couple of years, I've missed weddings. I've missed vacations.
Yeah.
You got to put your priorities in line. What you want to do, what you want to.
Well, we're about to segue into this part of the podcast where we're going to start asking and feeding you questions from the post and from questions that our viewers have asked, are interested in getting your insight on. So you want to go ahead, Zach, and start off?
Sounds good.
I'll start with this one right here. We got this one from Retriever. Says, Ryan, first, thank you for your service to our country and as a Marine. Really cool that you played in the NHL too. Oh, that's pretty dope. You played in the NHL, bro? I think they got you. Yeah, I think they got you mixed up for somebody else's name or something. But anyway, their question is, how would you pick up a quad 4 birds in a land water test, high temperatures? Thank you.
Okay. So how
it says quad? Or how would you pick up 4 birds in a land water test in high temperature?
So obviously, going into hot temperature, I'm the type of guy that I'm gonna check the water temp, because I'm not going to throw them into scalding water. That's just, I'll fail them out of a test if it's too hot. You got to look at the safety of the athlete. Set your pride aside and look out for the safety. So, if it's a quad, if it's, four of them, and it's, too hot, we're going to fail out.
Okay. All right.
It,
All right. So this one's from Ace, the German Malinois. What's your thoughts on color? Brown, black, yellow, lab. For example, black is smarter than the other two? Question mark.
no, I think all of them are smart, whether it's a chocolate, a yellow, or even a black. Um, Color to me isn't a problem. It's, obviously just the fundamentals, keeping them interested.
All right. We got a bunch of these, so we're going to be some of these I think you've already kind of answered at the beginning, but we're going to thumb through them as much as possible.
Here we go. FG Border Collie says, how do you build swimming fitness? Laps, water treadmill, or what combinations?
So I love the water treadmill. Water treadmill is great. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about that resistance in the water. Also, using the X Dog vest and putting them out there and getting them to tread water, with that extra weight, that water resistance is great.
Interesting.
All right. Thea _ the Mally _8. When choosing a dog for hunting / retrieval, what are you looking for in the puppy stages?
So puppy stages, I'm looking for, the one that's outgoing. If I jump into an area where there's a bunch of puppies, I want the one that just keeps on coming up to me. And if I, throw a ball, it's just right on top of it. Sometimes you'll get a puppy that's just, he's a little bit more lazy, a little more laid back. He just wants to sit there. I'm not going to be interested in that. I like the go-getters.
Yeah, for sure. I think in that type of sport, they need to have that. Like you said, that's something that you should want.
Yeah, you got to have that go.
Let's see here. They said advice for an overly active young male, high strung. Oh, see, that's them labs, bro. They be on it, man.
Yeah, I tell you. So overly active, high strung, man. You gotta get yourself some X Dog, weighted vest. Taking them for a controlled walk. So teaching them to heel, to walk on your side with a weighted vest. So now not only they're working their mind, but they're also working their body on that walk. So that's gonna help out with them being high strung.
Okay. FG Border Collies. Are there ways for those with mobility aids, such as a wheelchair, to get involved in hunting and retrievers? The reason why she probably asked is because she's into disc dogs as well. She does a lot of sports, but this is an interesting question.
Absolutely. There's lots of pro trainers that do this for full time, and that's their career. And if you're getting into this, and you're in a wheelchair, or you got some restrictions within your mobility, you can get into this, and you can have a diverse canine that is not only gonna go get your ducks for you, but if you drop your keys, they'll get those fetched up for you. So yeah, absolutely. And if you're gonna do this, I would say maybe go AKC. AKC, you don't have to use a real gun. It's a wooden gun. So that'd be a lot easier for somebody maybe in a wheelchair.
All right.
All right, here we go. Stephanie Big Mike Bully says, how do you train them to track? Do you also use them for any other hunting sports?
Oh yeah. So I do. We just started dabbling in some upland hunting, which I love, because when you have athletes that are conditioned like long distance runners, get into that upland, they can just keep going, and don't get exhausted. But so how do you train them for to track? A lot of that is just getting them real birdie, just getting them to love ducks, pheasant, geese.
Okay. Nellie Watts. How do you teach an effective out to a young dog? You know, they're bird crazy, right? Like, how do you teach that effective out?
So it's all about introduction, and just keeping them focused on that out. Throw feathers. The biggest thing in training a hunting dog is you got ducks. You got to have some sort of feathers. You can't just toss bumpers around. You toss bumpers around, you're going to get a dog that you think is a hunting dog, but it wants to go chase a plastic bumper.
Yeah. Pumbaa, the reactive dog, says, what food do you actually feed? So what kibble do you choose?
Oh, we got a bag right here. Good old Purina Pro Plan 3020. Now, but talking about food, though, you don't want to give this type of food to your backyard dog that's not working out. Otherwise, it's going to get fat.
Explain it to them.
Well, it's 30%. So you got 30%. So it's 30-20. So you got your 30% fat, 20% protein. Obviously, they use their fats for energy. So if I'm, throwing you a Big Mac and you're not going to go for a run, that Big Mac's going to go to your gut. It's going to sit there. It's going to turn into fat. And that's the other thing, talking about feeding. You got to feed to the activity of your athlete. So if you have an active day and, they're really, been doing a bunch of drill work and conditioning, load them up with the calories.
Yeah.
If they have a chill day, cut them calories.
All right. Faithlin.11. What are some methods to try with a dog that has a hard mouth chomping on a bird on the retrieve?
So that all goes back to what we call force breaking or force fetching. Force breaking and force fetching, we're teaching the canine to be able to hold something in their mouth and the pressure goes away. So if you got something that's chomping, I'd say get yourself a leather glove and tell it to fetch your hand and just hold it in there. That way, it's not going to be chomping and just repetitiveness, and use positive reinforcement. If he starts chomping on your hand, no, hold. Good. Pet their head. Let them know that they're doing
that
the
makes
right
a lot
thing.
of sense. Break them, get them used to it, make them understand. Thea the Mally says, would you recommend a Mal or a Dutch Shepherd for your kind of sport?
Oh man, that'd be a tough one. They're Malinois. Those are just about as crazy as these Labradors. I would say both. This sport is teamwork. This sport is working together as a team. So if you got a Malinois that is very obedient, you can get them into this. Or if you have a Dutch Shepherd that's maybe a little more stubborn,
have you personally seen what's the top 3 dogs that you see in your sport?
Well, obviously, we see a lot of black Labrador retrievers. We see some Chesapeake retrievers. See some poodles. Them cute little poodles.
People don't know, man. Poodles are pretty alpha dogs, man. They're pretty badass.
They were bred for retrieving. That's why their hair.
Right. Hair's cut around the joints, keep the joints warm.
All right. 6945_Justin. What characteristics make labs such good hunt/bird dogs?
So their alertness. When I'm looking for a good hunting dog, I want one that's just on edge. That when the leaves fall off the trees, it's like, ooh, what's going on? Bird dogs, you want them to be able to get in that water. And also, labs, they got webbed feet. So it's easier for them to swim in that water.
That's what makes Zach such a great swimmer.
Bro, I'm telling you, put them in the water, boy. You'll be like, damn. So Ace the German Malinois says, what's your thoughts on color? Brown, black, yellow, for example. Is a black lab smarter than the other two?
Yeah, we asked that when you went to.
You did?
I know.
Oh, my bad.
I know
Yeah,
mine
he
are
said
smart. Mine are
black
smart.
labs are so much smarter than yellow labs. And
Are
if
they
you own a
really?
yellow lab, yeah, yellow lab,
Amen.
you're a loser if you own a chocolate
Well,
lab. That's what it
what
is.
about chocolate? That was what my cousins was, and bro, I'm telling you, he was crazy, bro. He was a good dog. Don't get me wrong, bro. He was a good dog, but me
Kind
personally,
of.
like I said, to me, like that type of dog is meant for that. They're still bred for that. It's so embedded in their gene, like their DNA and their genetics, that like that's exactly what they want to do. Like that dog just wanted to get up, either find his ball, chase his ball, or go swim in the pond. Like that was all he ever wanted to do.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like how did the Labrador get its name? Working in the Labrador
Ah,
Sea, helping out
Mm,
fishermen. So they're going to get that fishing net. So it just goes back to their
got
ancestors.
you. Makes sense. That's one thing. People gotta understand that. That's why I wanted to ask you that, because a lot of people want to know for actually picking a pet. Like they come on here and they ask a lot of questions about pet dogs and what's the right dog to choose for them. And a lot of the times the people we have or the guests we have on, they always tell them the same stuff. A lot of these dogs are so far bred for certain things that it's best to find an actual companion breed dog that you can use for a pet instead of having a working class dog at your house. Like I can't
well,
control him.
it's interesting because you compete in AKC and UKC, but then when you talk about conformation and you see a lab on on let's say the UK
Yeah.
Nubish dog show, they're not conditioned like the labs you have.
No.
No, they're not. They're not, and that's the thing that I think
Mm,
the standard needs to be rewritten.
told you so.
For instance, like my team, we go to
Yeah,
the veterinarian every 2 weeks, and we pull blood samples and urine samples because I want to see what's going on the inside of their body, making sure everything's
interesting.
firing on all
Yeah, that's super
cylinders. But
extreme lifestyle there, boy.
Yeah, when you're doing blood work.
Zach, getting back to your topic though, people that are buying puppies and stuff, I always tell people when you're looking at buying a dog, you need to look at your
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. What
Yeah.
lifestyle do you have? Do you live in an apartment? Do you work 12-hour days? Then don't get yourself a lab. Go get yourself a little Pomeranian or something that's going to be a little more chill. Get yourself
Jeez.
Yeah, I
a
mean
Great
that's like when
Dane.
my cousin first got that dog. He was still living at home with his mom. They had land, they had property, and he could do what he wanted. And then my cousin moved into an apartment, and then then it got to the point where my cousin had to send the dog back to my aunt's house because it was like, bro, this ain't gonna work.
And that's
uh,
the reason why we made the X dog
yep. All right. So
test.
Rescue Chef
Amen.
says, what supplements do you use to help your dogs build muscle?
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh.
Ooh, wow. So let's see here. So it's this thing called X-Dog Weighted Vest. So
Hey,
as far as supplements, though, it's the food. It's the calories going in. It's getting away from
yeah.
Yeah.
your kibble and giving them a little bit of a what we call a barf diet. Giving them some raw chicken. Getting them some organ meats. Giving them some of that MVP
Yeah.
supplements that
For
stands
those who
by.
don't know what BARF
Um,
stands for, it's a
you know,
biologically appropriate raw feeding program. And as you mentioned earlier, you put raw meat in different organs. I think when people think of supplements, they just think of stuff that comes in containers. But you can supplement whole food sources, and me and Zach talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
right, right. And I try to get back to their ancestors. Dogs share
Yeah.
99.9% DNA of a gray wolf. So giving them those raw meats, that's what they're, we've domesticated them so much. And, fasting them, for one day or even 2 days, a dog can go 5 days without food and 48 hours without water.
Mm-mm.
Now, I'm not
Yeah.
recommending,
Yeah.
give them
No,
no
but I
food for
mean, the
five
average
days and
person,
no
they don't
water.
like when we first started doing the show, and me and Stan would talk about how we fast our dogs. The response from a lot of people were like, "What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
You don't feed your dog?" Like,
Yeah.
You're
they were losing their
starving them?
mind. And I got a lady at the local gas station, and she stopped me because she sees me with dog shirts on all the time. I got dogs in the truck, so she asked me and was having issues with her dog, and I simply just asked her, well, how many times a day are you feeding her, and how many times a week are you feeding her? And she was like, twice a day, every day. I was like, whoa. I was like, hold up.
Right.
I was like, go back to one day. And she was like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I
So,
do this in the morning and this and this was. I was like, no. I don't care if you're giving her half a cup in the morning and half a cup at night. Give her both cups at the end of the day, and then don't feed her Sunday. And then like 2 weeks later, the lady was like, "Oh my God, thank you. My dog's doing so much better."
Right. You know, and the other thing too
Yeah.
is like I do a timed feed, and I feed them all. I feed them all at the same time, and I feed them in the pecking order of the alphaness with amongst themselves.
Mm.
Who's the alpha in the pack? And that helps me out as going into training, because then they ultimately look at me
Yeah.
as their king alpha. But if I mess up the order of their pecking order amongst their pack, oh boy,
So break
training
that
the next
down
day
for
is
people
not
that,
good.
because that's very interesting concept. Does that, and that keeps democracy inside your pack too, right? Like you said, it's like now.
Oh yeah, huge. So I got three unaltered females, and they are constantly
Yeah,
going
females are
through
the
their
worst. Yeah.
crabbiness, bitchiness, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's nuts. And so what I'll do is, I take all the toys out of the backyard and I turn them out there, and I'll take one toy out there and I'll just start jacking around with them. Hey, throw it. The alpha dog of the pack is going to go grab that toy, and the other two are going to be like, okay, I'm good. I don't want it. Or if you really want to tackle the bear, you can, go get yourself, if you feed your dogs kibble and you got 2 dogs, go get yourself a couple pieces of kibble and put it down in an area and see who the first one is to go grab that kibble. And while they're doing this, though, you as the alpha, you got to stay out of it. If they start growling and snarling, let them do their thing.
One thing I learned from Zach is that he goes, what you need to do, and it actually worked for me. I put all my dogs in kennels, and right in front of the alpha, I put on my cowboy boots, get it underwear, grab a 36-ounce T-bone steak, and I would take the smallest slice and I would cut it for about 30 minutes and just eat it in front of them, and it just changed my life.
You're so stupid, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is, like my team, I'll sit out there.
Yeah, see, that
I'll
was
have a
stuff my
sandwich
dad would do. Like
or
my dad
eat
would
something.
eat before his feed his
Mm.
dogs. Like he, yeah.
And see, that's something that's different about us, man. Is my team, especially when we're traveling and
Yeah.
competing, man, they're eating before I am. I'm taking care of them, and then
Take
here it is, 11
that
o'clock
sandwich.
at night, and I got to get me something to eat.
Smell that? You want a piece of that turkey? Can't have none because I'm the alpha. I'm gonna eat this sandwich and y'all
Amen.
gonna watch me.
All right, we got to go real quick. We got enough time for 2 more questions.
All right, let's dig in and see
I
what we
got
got
one.
here. All right.
At what age should you introduce live birds to a pup? And that one is from Winnie Hunts for Honey.
So for me, I introduce live birds at 12, 13 weeks. Nothing that's gonna beat them up. So if 12, 13 weeks, I'll go get me a pigeon or something smaller and just toss it around. Even like when they're puppies,
Yeah.
7, 8 weeks old, you go to your like Shield Sporting Goods, they
Yeah.
got feathers there, wings. Take that, toss that around.
Or,
Just get them
or
crazy
let's say
about feathers.
let's say they're hunting with a different animal. Like you do the same thing. So like, I mean, I've kind of seen my uncles and stuff use deer blood, like bring a puppy with them when they kill a deer and like just let them gnaw on it the entire time and just like you said, basically desocialize it to the animal is going to be hunting. Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
All right. We got one more question, Zach.
Yep. It says, do your canine athletes train with other people or do you recommend training lab breeds yourself? Also, do you use an e-collar and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. Best one for last. So I personally, train my own team. I tried going other routes in the beginning when I was, getting back into this and sending my athletes off and, had to bring them back, obviously, because my one came down with terminal cancer. As far as using, I don't even have any e-collars around me. An e-collar to me is you must crawl, walk, run. You don't just go grab an e-collar and use it because you're abusing a dog if you're using it that way. So Start everything off with a leash pressure, and then integrate your e-collar to take away that leash pressure. I'll use my e-collar on, obviously it does the shock and stuff like that, but I use it for beep and vibrate. I've gone away from actually shocking them to actually training them with beep and vibrate, so they understand, like, hey, I'm the one in control. And when you're looking at e-collars that go back around the neck. Now, getting back, looking at dogs, how does that mama dog go get that little puppy? Does it grab it by its leg and pull it back? No, she goes and picks him up off the scruff of his back of his neck and brings him back when, she's trying to go grab him. So I'm not a big fan of the e-collar. It's gotten a bad name because a lot of people think, I'm going to make my dog sit, and if they don't sit, I'm going to zap it, I'm going to zap it, I'm going to zap it. You're actually working against what that system was designed for.
Well, Brian, first of all, I want to say thank you so much, man, for taking the time out of your schedule to come on and bring the value to our community. This is a value-driven podcast, and, man, when we think about valuable guests, you're definitely someone that we are interested in bringing on, and I just want to say thank you for that. And where can people find you? I know they can find you here at Elk Point Retrievers on Instagram. Is there anywhere else they can find you at?
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook, obviously Elk Point Retrievers, and we're building a website right now. You can send us an email at ryan@elkpointretrievers.com. I'm getting excited for this next year to get that website designed. Might need to hit up old Zach.
Yeah, we can definitely help you out, man.
Skills.
That's for sure.
And thanks for letting me get on here with you guys. I appreciate all the comments. And
when's your next event?
Back to training in the morning. Oh man, we're actually just looking at the schedule. So we're going to take a little bit of time now just to keep tightening up and conditioning, and then March, April, we're going to head south.
Well, after your event, hit us up so we can reschedule. We got to do a part 2 with you, man.
Sounds good.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Thank you for your time, guys. Have a blessed night.
I don't know if it's gonna. He might just have to. Has it got an X on your screen? It'll let you X out over there.
Yeah, up top.
It's not letting me.
Good.
Yeah, I think you can only do it from your own thing.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Ryan Quance. So I know we haven't had time to spin. We're usually going to spin now. We're going to start each spin cycle. Is that what you call it? Spin cycle? Like we're doing laundry?
Yeah, I
we're
guess
going to
you
spin
call
to
it
see the
that.
winners.
Yeah,
see people tune in and out. But
I think it's doper this way, man.
Yeah, let's do a recap. What was one of the things that really stood out to you tonight, Zach, as far as just like what he had to say?
The feed cycle with the feeding the alpha first in the cycle.
Yeah, that was interesting, right?
It really is, because like we don't believe it, or we may not recognize it, but for a lot of people, they may not have big packs of dogs, right? But I mean, I got 9 bulls here, so I thought about it instantly, because we may not see it, but it causes conflict between the dogs. Now I feel like, if let's say that one dog A is alpha, right, and I feed dog B first. Now dog A is going to be pissed off at dog B because he feels like he should have got his food first, because he's already distinguished that he's alpha. So now he's like, hey, bro, you tested me? And it's kind of like, it was very interesting that he said that, because in the retrospect of a pack, it makes a lot of sense.
All right. Hood affiliated bullies, are you in the building? You got a couple minutes to come on if you are. Just say I'm here.
Questions. They have some questions in the question box, so they should still be here. Hood affiliates, if you in the building, let us know. We'll spin this wheel and see if you're going to win tonight.
Yep, you got 8:01, 8:02. We'll give you till 8:02.
8 o'clock on the dot.
All right.
On my drop
He's here.
top, cruising the streets. I want to stand and spin the wheel. See what he's going to give to me. I pulled up.
Okay.
Anticipated.
Now we're getting too comfortable with the game.
My bad,
Hey, what were some of the things that you guys, I guess, found valuable tonight? Those still listening.
Yeah, y'all leave some comments. What was the most thing y'all seen or heard that you thought was valuable that Ryan dropped us a gem on?
And
There was
I'll
a lot of
go ahead and
stuff.
read the names out too, guys. So if it's blurry, I mean, Zach looks clear. Do I look clear, or do I look blurry?
Yeah, they said you've been blurry all day, but I get, I mean, I'm bouncing back and forth on the question screen. I
And
don't know. So Instagram's
you,
been on that lately.
all right. So you want a True Beast beef topper, Hood affiliates.
Ooh, the beef
True.
topper.
All right.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna do one more spin before we do the big. We'll give away 2 winners tonight.
All right. What about you though? What was the most valuable thing you learned from him?
Ooh, there was a lot of golden nuggets for me. I talk to Ryan all the time, so a lot of the stuff that he said, it was constantly, I've heard it more than once, I guess you would say, just because I'm always interested in his conditioning programs. Um, Man, what would be I thought it was intriguing. What was, you know, understanding that I wasn't for sure because we never talked about this, but dogs, that he hunts with versus dogs that he competes with. Because I knew
Yeah,
there would probably be a
yeah,
conflict of interest. Because
yeah.
when you think of, but it's, same thing with like, protection sports, like a lot of those, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a dog who does police work or, and then also competes in those sports. Okay, Pumbaa, the reactive dog. Let me see here. Pumbaa, the reactive dog. Are you here? I think you're here. But go ahead if you aren't. We'll give you a couple minutes. You got till 8:04. But yeah, that was very interesting to me. And then, it's just kind of like working dogs, right? Like the show German Shepherds and AKC are a lot different than the
Yeah,
working dogs,
yeah,
And,
for sure.
and so when you take a lab, right, and you keep saying that, they're kind of like high strung, right? And, how do you get one that's like that, that competes in AKC show ring, but it's also calm at home? And it might kind of fall down to the fact is that we talked about in other episodes is that, dogs are lethargic because they're inflamed. And most of those AKC dogs honestly look overweight when it comes to Labradors.
Yeah, no, very true, man. And it's just a lot of people don't realize that type of thing. Like they don't realize their feed regimen and how they're feeding. I'm not gonna sit here and say because of kibble or whatever, because majority of people feed kibble, right? But like the lady that was asking me at the gas station, like she legit thought she was doing good by feeding her dog twice a day, every day. And people think dogs just want to eat because we put it in front of them. And they're a dog. If you put food in front of them, of course, yeah, they're gonna eat. But it just comes with the knowledge of learning about stuff that wasn't available to the public or people knowing for years, bro, as far as feeding dogs.
All right. Puma the reactive dog, you won a Formula Mass weight gainer 45. So FG Border Collie says well-bred labs aren't high-strung. Zach must have not been around well-bred labs.
Look, I mean, I'm just, hey, I'm not saying that the dog would. Like I said, he was a good dog. He had his moments where he would chill, but for the most part, I can't deal with it. It's too much.
All right, so there is a space right here. Again, if this gets selected, I'm only going to spin this wheel once, and then if you're not here, you just miss out. But this one is for the True Beast podcast, where you guys sent a guest that you want us to request, and this is for a V3.5. So good luck.
Yep. Good luck on that one.
She goes, I have a very, very high drive working border collies who compete at the highest level in many sports, ones who are also a service dog and very relaxed at home. So which one's the best well-bred one, the one that competes high level or the relaxed one?
That's interesting.
Here it goes.
We off. Finna get a winner chicken dinner or what?
We're gonna be spending these through February too. So
I think it was pretty dope that he dropped the gym for people to realize that sometimes supplementing doesn't just mean something out of a bottle, like you said. And a lot of times people don't realize that even though we have products that we use that are supplements and stuff, I've personally watched like people will ask you a question about their dog's diet and you don't recommend the supplements. Like you tell them go to the store and get healthy fats or certain stuff that you can buy over the counter that will actually benefit your dog in the long run,
all right, Georgia Police Canine Foundation. This is an amazing foundation program. They can't make it tonight for sure. They let me know that they couldn't make it, and if they wanted to let them know. this we're going to go ahead and honor this one just because they do so much great work in this community, and I want to honor that for sure. So congratulations to them. If you did not get selected tonight, you will still be entered into this wheel, and we'll be doing them on Muscle Bully Mondays. We're going to be doing them on True Beast Trainer Thursday, so you have opportunity there. But other than that, man, you want to close this out, Zach?
Yeah, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in. For those of y'all that don't know and watching for the first time, you can catch the full episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of the above. And this was True Beast Trainer Ep.5 featuring Ryan. Say it, Stan.
Quance.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all share this episode for us.
And as always, Team X Out Strong.